Stone by day, warriors by night. Gargoyles action figures from Neca to pose and fight. Welcome to Flicks and Figs episode 4. In this episode we're going to be talking Neca Gargoyles, Hasbro Dungeons and Dragons series 2, TMNT Star Wars action figures, SH Figarts Deadpool 2 and more. So strap yourselves in and let's talk about it on TAKTAK Toys With Film. So kicking things off, Neca have unveiled their Gargoyles Elisa and Xanatos figures, and if you're unaware, Gargoyles is a 90s cartoon about a group of medieval gargoyles who protected a castle in Scotland, but through magic and sorcery ended up in modern day New York with modern day allies and enemies to boot. Elisa is the police detective who's the Gargoyles' ally. Xanatos is their enemy. So what do you think of these latest Neca Gargoyles reveals? Have you been picking up the line so far? Here in the UK, the line is unavailable due to licensing. So collectors here would need to go to places like Big Bad Toy Store to pick any of these up, and the link for Big Bad Toy Store will be in the comments below. And from one form of magic and sorcery to another, Wave 2 of Hasbro's 80s cartoon Dungeons and Dragons line is currently available for pre-order, and included in the wave is Eric the Cavalier or Knight, Sheila the Thief and Presto the Magician. And IDW Comics will be launching a Dungeons and Dragons Saturday morning cartoon at the end of March 2023. Perfect timing for you to pick up the comic in anticipation of Wave 2 if you're a cartoon Dungeons and Dragons fan. And Paramount Plus are planning a Dungeons and Dragons TV series, so expect the possibility of even more Dungeons and Dragons figures. And from magic to the use of the Force, as images have emerged of a planned TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Star Wars themed figures, which would have been part of the original 80s line but never saw the light of day. A very cool concept, and characters include Chewbacca Mikey with C-3PO Donatello, Princess Leia April O'Neil, Leo Luke Skywalker and a Raphael R2-D2, and Donatello Yoda. Although Splinter surely would have made it for a great Yoda mashup character. And finally, Darth Vader Shredder. These designs seem right up Super 7's alley, so as the TMNT Ultimates line is currently undergoing some changes, this could be just what the line needs. So Super 7, if you're watching, we would be honoured if you make some Ultimates TMNT Star Wars figures for us. And from Neca Haulathon, we have the TMNT cartoon Dirk Savage and Mona Lisa 2-pack, as well as Rex 1. And from good guys to bad guys, the AI artists are at it again, this time giving us horror icons as robots. I'm not a big horror fan myself, but there are definitely some interesting designs here with Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Leatherface and more as robots in demise. These would make for some cool action figure designs. Would you pick up any if they're available as action figures? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, one action figure line that had a whole host of horror characters back in the 90s and early 2000s was McFarlane Toys Movie Maniacs. And that line is making a comeback with Todd's love of non-articulated statues in play, and Series 1 includes Ted Lasso, Bugs Bunny Superman, The Wicked Witch of the West from Wicked and Alice in Wonderland, and Harry Potter. I won't be picking these up myself as I like action figures to have articulation, but what do you think? Should Movie Maniacs have more articulation in 2023? Let me know in the comments below. And from no articulation to plenty of articulation, if you want to pull off a few moves with your figures like Jean-Claude Van Goku and an SH Figarts Jean-Claude Van Goku Dragon Ball Z figure would be great, wouldn't it? You can pre-order the SH Figarts Deadpool 2 Deadpool. And SH Figarts Deadpool from Deadpool 2 comes with an array of hands, 2 katana swords, guns and an inhibitor collar from the prison scenes. Do you have the Marvel Legends versions, or are you an SH Figarts version from the first Deadpool movie collector? Or are you tempted to pick this version up? Let me know in the comments below. And from the Merc with a Mouth, we go on to remembering that life can be like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get inside. And as far as third-party 1/12 scale figures go, the good man Mr. Gann from Bob Toys is a nice, if unusual, surprise. So if you wanted a 1/12 scale Tom Hanks Forrest Gump for your toy photography or display shelf, well, now is your chance. A link to VC Toys box where you can be pre-ordered is in the comments below. And for all the latest film and TV reviews, check out Film and TV Review YouTube channel, and link for that is in the description below. Next up, we have a trip to the small screen and 80s Saturday morning cartoons in particular from Ramen Toys, as they are working on a 1/12 scale The Marshal, which is loosely based on Bravestar, a Saturday morning cartoon from the 1980s starring Marshal Bravestar, a future lawman who keeps justice on the planet in New Texas using various animal-themed super abilities. And Ramen Toys are also working on a 1/12 scale pilot based on Top Gun, Maverick. But for another third-party option is the Mr. Figure Air Force Major, which feels like the Need for Speed, at least on your action figure shelves or toy photography. And from the Air Force Major to the high seas of the Caribbean with the Revoltech Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean, currently available to pre-order. And Jack Sparrow may be handy with a sword, but not as handy as SH Figarts Samurai Swordsman from Chainsaw Man. And Chainsaw Man is growing in ever more popularity. If you want to pick up any of the action figures from the series, you have a range of options, including SH Figarts, to choose from. And if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to smash that like button, comment and subscribe if you want to as well. And if you want to break bad, you can do so with the 1/12 Manipul Drugman set featuring not Walter, I am the Danger White, and not Jesse Pinkman. Yo, Mr. White, Manipul is an artist, these action figures are the bomb! George R.R. Martin's of Game of Thrones fame is set to have his sci-fi novel Hunter's Run adapted for the big screen. And Hunter's Run is the story of a man's interaction with aliens on a colony and the consequences of these interactions. If that sounds mysterious, it's intended to be due to the twists in the plotline. Perhaps we may see Hunter's Run action figures at some point. And of course, Funko gave us Game of Thrones action figures, as did McFarlane Toys, so Hunter's Run, could it be a possibility? And if there's one 80s movie that had a sequel with a very toyetic designs, it's Tron, and Jared Leto is set to star in Tron Ares, so we could see some action figures based on the upcoming Tron movie. Diamond Select, of course, have given us Tron action figures before, based on the 80s Tron, but how about some time for some new ones? Mark Millar will soon be releasing his new comic series, The Ambassadors, about a group of 6 people around the globe whom are gifted with superpowers and the responsibilities that come with that mantle. Think Willy Wonka with superheroes. And Mark Millar plans to develop The Ambassadors into a movie or TV series. Could we possibly get some Ambassadors action figures once the TV or movie series is developed? And if you want to check out some ambassadors of the action figure community, you can do so with Dan Who Reviews, Jay's Toy Collection UK for UK reviews of action figures. For action figure reviews in Ireland, check out Brian's Action Figure Reviews, Miguel and the Wolfpack Toy Review, Austin the Hero of Collectors, Trevor the 1/6 Shooter for all things Mythic Legions, and Action Figure Review stateside, Dante and the Infinity Equation, and the 3 POA podcast for action figure chat and pop culture discussion. And links for all those YouTube channels are mentioned in the comments below. The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes will soon be upon us, and of course NECA have previously given us Planet of the Apes action figures, so could we see NECA providing us with some Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes action figures when the film releases? And Ed Brubaker of Captain America Marvel Comics fame, his comic series Pulp is getting set for a movie version. Pulp is about a pulp writer of cowboy stories who finds himself embroiled in an adventure of Nazi spies, bank robbers and former enemies, all hot on his tail, and he feels the need to dispense justice in the same way the lawmakers of the Old West do in the very stories he writes about. Have you read Pulp? Would you like to see some Pulp action figures when it hits the big screen? Let me know in the comments below. Megalopolis is an upcoming sci-fi project from the mind of Francis Ford Coppola. The premise surrounding a woman who must choose between her father, a traditionalist, and her lover, whose heart and mind is shaped by the future. The concept art for Megalopolis looks intriguing and stunning. Could we possibly get some action figures at some point? And you don't have to wait till the far future to pre-order or purchase action figures. You can do so at Props and Replicas, Comics and Cocktails, Kapow Toys, Valaverse.com for all your Action Force needs with international shipping, Star Action Figures, all the cool stuff, Gobsmack Comics and In-Demand Toys, and links for all these UK independent retailers and of course Valaverse, which is in the US, in the comments below. Tomb Raider series is coming to Prime Video, written and co-produced by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. We've had Tomb Raider action figures in the past. Could it be time for some new ones? I feel Loose Collector could be a great choice to produce Tomb Raider action figures, but what do you think? And finally, the comic books Sex Criminals and Bitch Planet are both heading to Prime Video. Would you like some Sex Criminals or Bitch Planet action figures? Have you read those comics? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, thanks of course for watching and enjoy those flicks and figs.